Training a machine learning model involves testing a variety of parameters to figure out which configuration works best. Before you even start training a model, you'll need to set up some hyperparameters, like the number of epochs you want to train for or the type of optimization function you want to use. But it can be tricky to figure out which values will give you the results you want. Let's take a look at what hyperparameters are and how Katib can help you tune them. Today we'll talk about hyperparameters and how to use Katib for hyperparameter tuning. If you want to check out the documentation directly, check out the link below to read more about Katib and how to use it. Unlike the training parameters that are tested and adjusted during the training phase, hyperparameters aren't learned by the model. They're provided before you begin training and can make a big impact on the results of your model. You could try adjusting them yourself, changing hyperparameters and noting the results, but when you have many different configurations you want to explore and training your model takes a significant amount of time, it's not feasible to do it yourself. That's where Katib comes in to help. Katib helps tune your hyperparameters by testing a range of values for each one. You need to define what your objective is and then set up an experiment so Katib can try different hyperparameter values. For example, if you were training a model with 2 hyperparameters, learning rate, and batch size, and wanted to maximize the accuracy, Katib could run the experiment to try different values and see how they affect your objective. You could also try different objectives, like minimizing error rate. Let's walk through actually running Katib. You can try this out for yourself if you have a Kubeflow instance running. Just head to the dashboard, choose your namespace, and then click Katib on the left side, followed by Hyperparameter Tuning. This should give you a big text box where you can paste a YAML file. We'll include a link in the description for the one we're using here, so go ahead and copy-paste the file here and then hit deploy. This can take a while to run, so let's take a look at some of the configuration we're specifying. Here, we're defining some key values with our trial counts. Each trial is an iteration through the experiment with one set of hyperparameter values. This whole file will create one experiment with 12 trials as specified in the max trial count. In addition, Kubeflow will run 3 trials in parallel thanks to the parallel trial count, and max failed trial count will shut down the experiment if 3 of the trials result in failure. In addition, we're also specifying the objective we're looking for. In this case, we want to maximize the accuracy 1 metric. A goal of 0.99 is also specified, so the experiment will automatically stop if we hit 99% accuracy. Lastly, we can specify which algorithm Katib will use to tune the hyperparameter values. Multiple algorithms are supported, such as grid search or Bayesian optimization, but we'll keep things simple with the random algorithm. In this case, Katib will randomly try different values for our hyperparameters and measure our objective metric. Let's take a look at the hyperparameters in the configuration file. These are the actual hyperparameters we want to test. In this case, we're looking at testing the learning rate and batch size for our training step. Each hyperparameter has a type, along with a feasible range of values with minimums and maximums. Since we specified random as our algorithm, Katib will choose random values for these 2 inside the feasible space and then run the training job as a single trial. Once we've hit the max trial count, our experiment should be finished. We can check the status by selecting the menu icon next to Katib and choosing HP, then Monitor. You'll see a list of any experiment and their current status. A checkmark means the experiment has completed successfully, and we can click on it to see more information. This graph can look a little bit complicated, but it's actually just showing you each trial over the entire experiment. The left column is the result of our objective metric, the middle column is the learning rate, and the right column is our batch size. If we look at the line that had the highest accuracy, we can see the values of our hyperparameters that lead to this run. It can be a bit hard to see the exact values here, so if you scroll down, you can see a table with all the trials. Looks like the best learning rate was around 0.0111 and the batch size was 170, giving us an accuracy of just over 97%. In this case, we only used 12 trials, but we could easily change the YAML file and try another experiment with more trials or additional hyperparameters. Katib can help save you a lot of time and effort in narrowing down the best values for your hyperparameters, and it's easy to set up an experiment. Try it out for yourself and check out the documentation to read more.